Wow.
Gerald Soper.
And tell us about this. This is obviously a Westfield, yeah?
Yeah, it's a Westfield V8, 4.3 litre. It's got 265 brake horsepower, 300 foot-pounds of torque.
Blimey. So she goes.
Somewhat.
So, if you've just arrived, I would really like to welcome you to the 8th annual show, and of course the Golden Jubilee show, so it's rather special this year. This is the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club. Okay, let's start with the Robin Hood. Okay, so tell us a little bit about yourself firstly, sir.
Name's Nick Hancock. This was built for my friend of mine 3 years ago for me. Interesting car, cheap to build, cheap to run.
They are an interesting car, and I know you say your friend built it for you, but you know, a lot of people get a lot of enjoyment out of buying a kit car and putting it together. And I've got to say, this one's been beautifully finished off and built. You know, it's got to be very, very, very satisfying to see it in millions of bits, and then the day you actually first take it on the road.
Sure, yeah, I mean, I did see it when it was being constructed, and it is good to have it, you know, it's there in the garage ready to use whenever you want it. The sun comes out, away you go.
So what's she got under the bonnet then?
It's a 2-litre overhead cam Sierra engine.
So is it based on a Sierra? That's the donor car, is it?
Yeah, everything's based, the axle gearbox is all Sierra based. It's easy to run, easy to maintain, there's plenty of them around to get.
Lots of spare parts, obviously.
Yeah, very.
Nice one. Are you a member of the club, sir? Have you come with a club, or are you here as an individual?
I'm a member of the Robin Hood Owners Club, but they're not represented here today, I'm just an individual.
Perhaps we can get them here next year. Thank you very much indeed for bringing her down. There you go, you can build your own car, you see. You don't have to go and buy one. Okay, this is again is a lovely example. Obviously the Moggy. Tell us a little bit about yourself first.
Chris Davis. It's not actually my car, my neighbour's. He was too shy to come in.
He was too shy to come in the arena, was he? But he's brought it here today. You haven't nicked it off him or anything?
No, I've got a 2-door saloon, what I use every day, and we just come up together.
A bit different to driving one of these, I would have thought.
Oh yeah, a lot different.
This obviously, you know, well-known car, and still many of them around. But when you get in this, is it like you think, oh, you know, I'm like mellowed now, because they don't go quick, and you have to drive them fairly easily.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Bit of a de-stressor.
Very.
So, will you be enticed into buying one, do you think?
Well, not a traveller. I've got a 2-door saloon minor, what I use every day for work.
Oh, sorry, when you said a 2-door saloon, I didn't realise it was a Mori, yeah. Oh, yeah, so you use her every day for work?
Yeah, work in Braintree, use it every day, back and forwards.
She's reliable?
Oh, very reliable.
There you go, you see, they don't build them like that anymore, is what they said. And again, the Mori Traveller, obviously, part of our British heritage here on the Golden Jubilee weekend. Okay, this is, I keep saying this is gorgeous, but this really is. This is absolutely amazing, this car. Tell us a little bit about yourself first, sir.
I'm John Griffiths from Hornchurch. We've just driven up this morning. I'm not, actually I'm a health inspector, so I'm not a car restorer, but I've restored this at home from a sort of wreck. It'd been left in a garage for 18 years.
Well, as a health inspector, you could eat your dinner off of this, I'll tell you exactly. So you've restored it personally. Have you got the photographs from when you bought her and you've kept a record of it?
Yes, and interestingly, I also made a video when I did the restoration, so I've got a year and 6 weeks crammed into 45 minutes.
Excellent. So when did you actually get her on the road?
1993, wasn't it?
So you've had a bit of fun with her then, and you drove her up here this morning. She didn't come on a trailer. You drove her up here.
No, we drove her, and she's really, I mean, it's really suitable for country lane cruising, 35 miles an hour. It doesn't like motorways or dual carriageways.
Excellent. And tell us a little bit about her. She's a Singer, obviously.
Yeah, it's a Singer 6, a side valve, which is quite unusual. Singer were making overhead cam engines, even in these days, in 29. So it's 1929. And it's probably fairly rare. There's probably only about 3 of this model left in the world, one of which is in New Zealand.
Really? So there's only 3 left in the world. One's here today with us, one's in New Zealand. Any ideas where the other one is?
I think it's at the moment for sale in the automobile.
Oh, really? Well, there you go. You've got another project, haven't you? You know how to do it now. You know how to do it. And this is your wife, Pat, did you say?
Yes, she's got a 1934 Singer, which we bought last year.
Oh, excellent. So there you go, a Singer. You haven't got a Singer sewing machine as well, Pat, have you? It's totally Singer, that family. Thank you very much for bringing it down. And again, if you want to have a look at it, please go and see this car, because it's been restored by the driver himself, by the owner himself, and it really is a lovely job he's made of that. So take your time to go and have a look, take some photographs. Classic. A member of the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club, a very good member too. Hi, tell everybody your name.
It's Tony Ascot.
It's Tony Ascot, and this little baby has been away on many of our club trips, hasn't she?
Oh yes, she's sort of managed to get abroad and sort of managed to get home some way or the other.
And this one, how long have you had this, Tony? Because I know ever since I've known you, you've had it.
I've had this probably around about 25 years, I think now.
Crikey. So when you bought her, was she in this sort of condition, or did you have to, sort of work on her a bit?
No, when I bought it, the clutch was gone. That's why I bought it cheap. Since then, it's had 3 clutches, 3 hoods, a new gearbox. The engine is totally untouched and has done several well. 98,600 miles now.
And it's never been touched, never had a rebuild or anything like that?
Not since I've had it. I'm not too sure what's done to it before I bought it, but since I've had it, no, it hasn't been touched.
And needless to say, you'd never sell this, would you?
No, someone did ask me if I'd sell it the other day, and I'm afraid I can't part with it yet.
Absolutely not, absolutely not. Well, thanks for bringing her in, Tony. OK, thank you very much for bringing them in. If you'd like to do a lap of honour and exit to my right, we've got a bar being run by Mark and Andy Mahoney, which is rather worrying from the club's committee point of view. Oh, and Keith. Like I say, we do like to try and diverse here at Matching Green shows. Oh, that's a nice smile, sir. Tell us about your name. Tell us your name, sorry.
Oh, Terry.
Terry, and tell us about the car, Terry.
Well, laid in a garden out in the roadings for 10 years.
It laid in a garden for 10 years?
The roadings. And we've had about 12 years since we got it from there.
And you got it. What sort of condition was it in when you got it?
Ready for the scrapyard, really.
Really, it was that bad?
But no, it's been no trouble since we've had it on the road. We've every weekend with it. The whole thing runs well.
So, tell me, I mean, what did you do? Did you sort of drive past and see it in the garden and think, oh, I'll buy that? Or did you think, oh, I don't know, it's a bit of a project, but I'll have a go?
I work at the post office.
All right.
And like the local postman, a lot of us at the post office have got old cars. So if anybody's out on the round and they see an old car, word goes round that there's an old car in so-and-so garden. So
you've got your own spy network, basically, for old cars.
Intelligence service.
Intelligence service. Well, some might argue that, actually, with the post office, but there you go. I'm being wicked. So how many hours do you reckon you spent to rebuild her after you found her in the old garden at White Roding in an appalling state? How many hours to put her back in this condition?
Well, I couldn't tell about hours, but 2 years.
2 years. Was that every weekend, evenings?
No, whenever you've got the time to spare, just on and off. Try and do something every night, even if it's only 10 minutes. Something every night.
Do something. Well, I tell you what, this car, I bet, is very, very proud to have you as the owner, and very thankful that you've put her back in this sort of condition. So thank you very much, Terry.
It's got the wrong grill in it, because I don't like mine should have the same grill as the one next door. But this one's out of a later car, which I like it.
Hey, listen, if you've spent that amount of time rebuilding it, you have what grill you want, mate. That's what I say. There you go. Terry was just saying it's got the wrong grill. It should have that grill in it, but he likes that grill, so he put it in there, and he spent the hours doing it. So hey, who can argue? So tell us about this one. It looks like in here you've been to many classic car shows and won a few prizes. Tell us your name first, sir.
Yeah, hello, I'm Nick Hall from Boreham, Chelmsford.
Oh, from just up the road, really, Boreham, where the test track is.
Yeah.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about the car. She's purring away.
Yeah, she's a 1950 Morris Oxford. We bought it in 1980. Restored it myself over sort of a 2-year period. The car originally started life in Dunmow. That came from Archers. We've even got the original number plate on there, or phone number on there, which is phone Dunmow 2.
Dunmow 2?
That is the phone number.
Excellent. Are they still going, Archers, or have they disappeared?
No, they've gone, I think, now. But no, it spent all its life in Essex. I actually had about a year where it was in Kent, not on the road, and I actually bought it from that guy in Kent in 1980 and restored it over about 2 years, and I've been the owner ever since.
Lovely. And she gives you a lot of pleasure?
Yeah, yes, you don't go out in the rain much, but apart from that, yes, she gives a lot of pleasure and has always been reliable. Also done some very long journeys in a day as well. We've driven all the way up to sort of Leicester and Coventry in it in a day and back, and you cause traffic jams on the motorways, but she's never let us down.
Nice one. Well, there you go. A car, spent his life in Essex, and he said it gives him lots of pleasure, just like Essex girls normally do. Here we go. Tell us about this one. This one's for sale. I see the for sale sign in there. Are you the owner of it, sir?
Yes,
And tell us your name first.
it's John.
And tell us a little bit about the car then. This is your chance to advertise. You realise that, don't you?
I do know that, yeah. I've had it 27 years. It belonged to my wife's uncle first. He had it shipped over from Germany in he had it for 7 years. It's totally original.
It is, and it's in very, very nice condition. You must garage it, I suppose.
It's been garaged all its life.
I would have thought so. And she really is very, very original. It must be a bit of a bit of a heart-tugging time to get rid of a car you've had for all that amount of time. What did you say, 27 years?
Yeah. Trouble is, I've got 3 now.
That's the problem. It's space, isn't it?
One's got to go.
Well, there you go. This one's for sale. It's a lovely example. It's a very, very original car, which scores lots of points, of course. And if you want to buy it, then you'll see it on display over there. Go and talk to the owner. It's a lovely example of the Opel, and very original. So there you go. You can walk away with a nice classic car today. Now this one, the old Moke.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
All right, thank you. Very well.
Give us your name again.
David.
Right, David. So tell us a little bit about this, because these are fun cars, aren't they?
Well, they're great fun in this sort of weather, or when it's a bit more sunny, preferably, but great fun in this weather.
At least it's not raining. Did you build this one, or...?
No, it's an actual production Moke, but it was built in Portugal. So they moved the jigs over there, apparently, when they finished making them in Australia. And it was restored by Grassmere Garage about 2 or 3 years ago. Alf and his team did a lot of work on rebuilding it for me.
And it's still running. That's fantastic. That's amazing, that. So what made you buy a Moke then? Because, I mean, you're right, they are really a summer car, aren't they? So you can't use them all year round.
It's just I was given a toy one as a child, and I was always fascinated by it because it was so unusual. And I just thought I'd like a real one when I was growing up. Never thought I'd get one, but I was lucky.
Oh, it's lovely. Sorry?
It's used all the year round.
Oh, it is used all the year round?
Yes. Yes, you can put the side panels on, and it's got a heater, so it's...
Oh, it has a heater. Oh, right. Is that the old mini heater?
Yes, yes.
Oh, well, they're not too bad. Oh, so it's nice to know you use it all year round. Of course, the Mini Moke made famous in The Prisoner. Those of you old enough to remember the TV programme The Prisoner, they used to have them running round all over the little village. I'm not a number. I'm a free man. OK, thank you very much for bringing them into the arena. If we'd like to do a lap of honour, visitors' cars these are, not members of the Machine Green Classic and Sports Car Club. Nice tour of the arena. A chance again to get some great photographs. It's very rare to get a collection of police cars like this together. Okay, we'll line that one up there. If you can put this one in beside. If you can swing this one in here, sir. Sling the old Rover into the side. Hold on, sir. Right, just tag on the back of there now. That's it. That's lovely. Well done, that man. I forgot you got power steering. I was used to them other ones in there. Nice one. We're getting there. Okay. So, police cars through the ages. This is all the information. You don't want to talk to me then? No, I don't want to talk to you, sir. All right, the Wolseley 680 original police car, starred in films and television, it says on this plaque. Absolute beginners with David Bowie, it was in Great Balls of Fire with Dennis Quaid. A Quality of Murder with Glenda Jackson, and it was loaned to New Scotland Yard for motoring 100 at Silverstone, and it has been on police camera action. There you go, that's this. Just give me your name, sir.
Charlie Thompson.
Charlie Thompson. This is your pride and joy, Charlie.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you an ex-copper by any chance? No, I'm not. What made you buy a police car, mate?
Well, it's something different from other cars.
Absolutely, this one is different. She's lovely. Is that a for sale sign? So that's not for the car, surely? For 8-track music cartridge, 2 car players, 2 indoor players. There you go. If you want an 8-track, 400 8-track music cartridges, 2 car players and 2 indoor players for 200 quid. Charlie's your man. So if you're looking for some authenticity for your car and you want an 8-track player, Charlie's got it. Shall I give you your plaque back, Charlie? By the way, there you go. Lovely, beautiful. In the back, police helmets through the ages as well. Let's go back up this end and talk to this young lady. Hello, what's your name?
Yvonne.
Yvonne, tell us about the car, Yvonne.
Well, it's next Metropolitan Police Panda car.
Oh, is it? So it was using the Met. So how did you come by it?
My husband.
Your husband bought it.
Yes.
So was he an ex-copper or?
No, he's the chairman of the Classic Cop Cars Club.
Oh, so there is a classic cop cars club. And this is where all of you people come from, is it? Excellent. Excellent. So how long ago was that formed? A little while ago?
A year and 2 weeks.
A year and 2 weeks. Lovely. And meet regular?
Yes.
Well, we're really grateful for you to be here today. Thanks for bringing her in. Let's go and talk to this man with the Rover. Now, this probably, like you think of the Sweeney, particularly, this was a classic police car in the true sense of the word, wasn't it?
Yes, definitely. It's a classic of all the Rovers, I think. But also the classic police car. People always remember these as the police car, same as the SD1.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you said SD1 as well, not SDI, because they get real ratty. I'll tell you about that. Okay, so what's your name, sir?
My name's Tom Willis. I'm actually the secretary of SD1 Mania.
Oh, well, there you go. So you know how ratty they get. All right, so how did you come by the car?
This isn't my one. That's my one there. And Terry's in the other SD1. This is his one.
Oh, well, so you just done this to confuse me, did you? Oh, okay. Well, tell me about your one then, the SD1 next door.
Basically, it's an ex-Holloway car for London. It entered service in 1986, left London service in 1992. I'm the 8th owner, and I've renovated it from basically a piece of scrap to what it is now.
But it was originally the police car?
Yes, I've got the full history of the car.
Excellent. Superb stuff. Now, presumably, when you drive that home, you have to take all the stickers off, do you?
Basically, they are actual stickers. They're permanent on the car. As long as I cover the word police and cover the blue light, I'm legal on the road.
Ah, very interesting. Okay, so I need to speak to the man down the end about this one, do I? Right. Okay, let's go and talk. You did this purposely to confuse me. So tell me about your Rover, not this one. Tell me about the one that I've just seen, the 2000.
Well, I hate to start, this is my one as well. That one's a Rover 3.5 litre manual gearbox, ex-Hertfordshire. It was a driving school car. They're class 1 drivers for 2 years. This is why it's got rear seat belts, rear headrests. Restored that about 5 years ago.
So you're obviously a man who knows a lot about the police cars. Is something of a speciality for you?
Well, I do own 8 at the moment.
You own 8? Where'd you keep them?
I've got a few lockups and a rather large garage. I don't understand why. Who's driving the Allegro?
Oh, right, yeah. So you're the chairman?
I'm the chairman.
Thank you very much for bringing them here today. We really, really appreciate it. You want to plug? Go on, you have a plug. Go on, mate. What's this? This is your meeting, is it? Okay, that's all about the club. We'll plug that in a while. Thank you very much for being here today, though. It's a great site. And finally, we can talk to this young man. Okay. Hiya, sir.
Oh, yeah.
What's your name?
Melvin.
Melvin, and tell us about... Now, is this your car, Melvin?
No, it's his car.
Oh, yeah, right. I'll give up. So do you know anything about this car?
Not a lot, no.
There's a whole lot of bump on there. Right, I'm not going to read that lot, but it says it's a Metropolitan Police area car, and it was in Holloway, which we found out earlier. So that's fine. Thank you very much indeed. So there you go. Get your cameras out. Get a chance to have another shot of these police cars. And thank you very much for being here. A newly formed club only a year ago, and it's great to have them here today. So if you'd like to lead off, madam. and do another couple of tours of the arena, give people a chance to get a photograph. And I think we'll have the sirens on again, why not? Built for easy manoeuvre, obviously. So let me tell you a bit about the club. As I say, it was started in May 2001, Police Car Club. And if you want some advice, and if you think it would be fun to own an ex-police car, just go and talk to them on the stand. They'll tell you all about the club, and they'll tell you how you can go and buy a police car. And in case you didn't know, it is the year 2002. It is the Golden Jubilee. And to celebrate, we thought it would be rather fun to have the BMW 2002 Club. And that's what's coming into the arena now. BMW's 2002. 2002 Club, I know Richard Stern is the chairman. I'm going to have a word with him. I don't know which one is Richard, but I shall find him in a minute. Is that Richard in the front? Always the chairman in the lead car, it is. It's easy guess. Okie dokie, we let them square themselves up. And we go and talk to Richard. Richard, go on and get out of the car for a minute, mate. Let's show yourself, since you're the boss man of the club. That's all right. We get a nice shot of you on the video. Look, it's lovely. Tell us a bit about the club, then.
Been going for 13 years, the O2 register, and obviously this is an important year of the car. It's also 35 years old this year, plus 2002. How many cars can claim it's their year? We just did a big meeting over in Germany, a big international meeting where there was 300 cars represented by 18 nations, far away as Australia, Brazil, New Zealand, and all over Europe. It all centred around the Austrian Alps, breathtaking scenery, food and German beer.
Oh, why does beer always sneak into a classic car meeting? I don't know why, but it does.
No hangover.
No hangover. So what about the British club? I mean, you know, good strong membership?
We've got about 200 members, going from strength to strength. We've got a big main event this year, on August the 11th at Brooklands in Surrey, where we're hoping to have at least over 100 O2s turn up, plus all the other cars from the BMW Car Club will attend anyway. And BMW GB is hopefully going to be sponsoring us.
Because of, obviously, again, because of the year and stuff.
Yeah, and the publicity they get for nothing.
Absolutely. Nice one. So, what about the 2002? A nice car to own, a particularly tough one to keep in good nick, or?
There's different variations of the engines. Obviously, the main 2002 is a 2-litre engine, rear-wheel drive. The carburetted version is 100 brake horsepower, and they are just so great fun cars to drive. The balance, the good all-round visibility inside the car. The TII, which I've got, is like the GTI 35 years ago. Eats gold GTIs for lunch. And then you've got the outrageous left-hand drive turbo, you can see, with 170 brake horsepower and loads of turbo legs, you've probably heard about.
Superb. I mean, they are a fun car. That is for sure. Can you? I mean, are they readily available now to buy? They're getting more and more difficult to find.
There's plenty around, but the main problem, I think, with any classic, especially these, is the rot. You've got to watch for the rust. As long as you get a good, strong shell, you can build on the rest. But my advice is buy the best you can now. Don't buy a wreck and restore it, because it'll cost you thousands.
You've just done it, so you know, the man that knows. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for your advice. And if you want advice on a 2002, go and see the lads afterwards. Go and see Richard, and he'll tell you all about them. This is lovely. A striking colour. It's really, really nice. So tell us about this. It's beautiful inside as well. Tell us about this one, and tell us your name.
My name's Robert. I had this car for a year and a half. Did the sensible thing and bought it already fully done up. So like the only work on it so far. Easy to keep, nice to drive. Just a good fun car.
It is. Is this was a standard colour, wasn't it? This one.
Yeah, it's original 70s BMW ink and orange. So probably the best colour.
I think so. I think so. I think it's striking. I think it's lovely. Thank you for bringing her here today. Thanks for the club being here today as well, because it's great to see, especially in this obviously 2002 special celebration. What's your name, sir?
David.
David, and tell us about the car, mate.
Well, it's the one that features in Classic and Sports Car magazine. So it's my only car. It's done about 30,000 miles in the last 2 years.
And it's your only car, so it's used on a daily basis?
Not used every day, but when I use it, it goes for a decent run. My dad lives up in Cheshire and does actually quite a lot. So, yeah, it's fine.
No, it's nice. We were saying, obviously, with the spare parts and stuff not being a problem, but expensive or not, because everybody has this concept that BMW bits, or German bits in particular, are expensive.
It depends. Some of the parts, this fuel injection, if the pump to be overhauled costs quite a lot, and then just routine base, plugs and oil for that oil.
Mind you, the injection pump on any car is expensive, so it's not this,
I spent a lot of money on the mechanical side of the car, and I've used it a lot since.
Well, that's it. You can't say fairer than that, can you, really? And it's a fun car, as we've heard. They really are. Rear-wheel drive is what makes them a bit more fun as well, unlike the modern cars where you get front-wheel drive. Much better to have it driven from the back, I think. Would you agree, sir? What's your name?
Anstey. You've got to remember the brakes as well. They're more exciting than the rear-wheel drive.
well, the fact they don't work properly.
Well, they have a tendency not to wiggle a little bit before they stop. So.
Well, it's all right. It's all part of the fun, isn't it? Tell us about this one. How did you come by this?
I've had it since '93, but spent most of its time in the garage because I've been too busy to get it. So it's been on the road now for 2.5 weeks. It's in the garage for 2.5 years, and I've just changed the battery and drove it off in it.
Really? So it shows its reliability, good old German reliability.
Well, everything's mechanical. Like I said, it's mechanical fuel injection, so as long as that fires in, nothing can go wrong. I've got luministion on it now, so I've got electronic ignition, which I know most people do in their old cars now. So it's such a fun drive.
Excellent. Well, thanks for bringing her here, especially since she's only been run for 2.5 weeks. It's really nice to see her at Matching today. Now, Turbo, this was the one that Richard said is the fun car, the power car, and the brake horsepower 175, did he say?
170.
170. What's your name, sir?
Michael.
Michael, so tell us a bit about it, mate. A nice car, a fun car. Doesn't really describe this thing to drive, I guess.
No, it's a car you can go along in, and you'll have a lot of people look at it and not really realise the power that it's got for its age, and try and take it on and normally lose.
So all the boy racers come up alongside you in their GTIs and say, "All right, mate, go on."
That's it, and it blows them away.
And I bet they wonder what the heck hit them, and they don't realise, do they?
No, they don't. No, it's a quick car, and it is fun to drive, and children like it as well.
Plenty of room in there as well, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a great car, and I like it, and I drive it every week, and I drive it around Ongar on a regular basis, and we use it all the time.
So there you go. If you see this in Ongar or around the streets of Essex, don't be tempted to take it on as the answer, because you'll lose. Okay, we're moving on to the last one on the end. Hello. What's your name?
My name's Judy.
Tell us about the car, Judy.
Car's 2002, automatic, 1972, originally registered in Germany. It turned up 4 years ago at the Amsterdam Automobile Museum, where we bought it and imported it over here.
You've been driving it. You bought it from the Automobile Museum. I didn't know museums sold cars.
They do. All their cars there are for sale.
Well, the ones in Amsterdam?
Yes, the ones in Amsterdam.
That's very interesting. So, did you go over there just for a break and saw it, or did you go over there intending to buy a car?
I work over there.
All right. So you saw it. Well, that'll do for me.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much. There you go then. Thanks ever so much for being here, guys, and bringing the cars in on this very special year. I bet you're in demand all over the place, but we are very grateful to have you here today. And again, if you want to know anything about them, if you fancy owning one, they are fun to drive. Then see the club. They're parked up over there. you weren't here earlier, let me remind you that if you're into sort of big swing bands, then the Sid Lawrence Orchestra will be appearing over North Weald. Now, the gentleman on my left in the blue Aston Martin. I have a complete list regarding this man, and very interesting it is as well. His name's Malcolm McGregor. He's got the DB5 there, and he's 72 years old. Now that's not old, I don't think, you know, you're as old as you feel. 72 is no age, but let me tell you that he's been winning races in that car since 1971. He's held lap records on virtually every single club racing circuit in the UK and Europe, and this year he went to the Winscombe Hill Climb and he was the class winner and won the best Aston driver of the day, and he previously won that in 1974. And to top all of that, he goes in for a hip operation next week. So there you go. So we need to talk to this man. I won't get you to climb out, sir, if you're waiting for this hip operation, but what a lovely... I hope you're going to write a book about this, you know.
No, I don't think so.
So what's so special about the Aston then?
Well, the engine is virtually a works engine. But other than that, we've always kept it totally standard inside. It's a road car. So it's fun to drive. You can take that, use it to the pub and take it racing at the same time.
Wonderful. Do you know you're a man after my own heart, because I just hope that I'm fit enough when I'm 72 to be still racing cars, because it's just wonderful, and it's great that you can get that enjoyment out of her as well as use her practically, like you said, during the day. You've obviously been an Aston man through and through.
Well, I've had it for what, 33, 34 years.
33, 34 years. Want to sell her?
No, it's part of the family. I couldn't do that.
It's like, yeah, I can appreciate that, and a lot of classic car owners will. But she's a lovely DB5, of course. She really is. She's wonderful inside. A comfortable car, are they, for over a length of journey?
Very nice for a long journey. Yeah.
You know, I was in my mate's new Aston a couple of weeks ago, and they're a lovely, lovely car. But I just don't think that they're as a comfortable car as these.
Yeah. There's more space in these.
Absolutely, there's more space in them as well. 2 adults and 2 legless children. As long as the driver doesn't get legless, is the main thing. And good luck with the hip operation next week, all right? So there you go. There you see, proof. You're never too old to go racing. You're never too old to own a lovely car, and you're never too old to do what you want to do, really. Okay, so give us your name.
Stuart Bailey.
Stuart Bailey. Tell us about the car, Stuart.
I've had it for 27 years.
27 years. You don't look that old, if you don't mind me saying so.
I was young when I bought it.
Absolutely. But these are just a car that most boys dream of owning, aren't they?
When I bought it, classic cars were not being used. They were 8 years old. It was an old car. So at the time, money was not a problem. It's only the sort of the 80s when the big boys got in and started going for the classic cars to make money that it pushed the prices up. It's the actual rarity value of the car. The DB5 they only made 1100. DB6 they only made 1300, and the V8's probably 2000. So you're talking a production that Ford's probably doing 20 minutes.
Yeah, it is the rarity, and like you said, you know, the classic car industry went through a massive boom in the 80s. Anything that was deemed to be classic and it could just had a quick paint job was worth a lot of money, let alone something like this. And of course the DB6 famous for the James Bond.
No, DB5.
Oh, was it DB5? Oh, there you go, you can't get it wrong. The DB5 was famous for the James Bond then. Okay, so yourself a member of the Aston Club?
I'm the local area representative. I look after there's about 150 cars in the area. You've even got cars on the village green, which I don't know the owners of, that live on the green and got the cars, but don't come to club meetings.
So when does the club meet, or how do they get in touch with you? Now's a chance to do the ad.
Yeah, well, we always meet the first Wednesday of every month at the Eagle, Kelvin and Hatch. And anybody's welcome to come along if they're interested in classic cars.
What time would that be?
Well, we've been starting a lot earlier, 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay, so 7:30, the Eagle, and well, hopefully we'll get some of the members from Matching, or some of the people that own Astons from Matching to come along. But thank you for being here today. And there you go, it was the DB5, of course, not the DB6, which was the James Bond car. Okay, tell us about this car and tell us your name.
My name's Linda Emanuel, and this is a V8 1974.
It's a 1974 car, and from the point of view of driving her, do you find, like, you know, it's relatively easy, automatic of course, but quite a big car really?
Yes, it's a 5.3 litre, and you feel the engine, definitely.
Does it have a tendency to run away with you if you're not too careful? You have to look down at the speedo and think, blimey, am I really going that fast?
Yeah, you do have to keep an eye on that. Keep careful with the old foot down.
But they're so smooth as well, aren't they? And of course hand built, so the build quality is fantastic.
They are a lovely cast drive, definitely. We've just been to France and it was fantastic.
Lovely, and it's great, as I say, to have you here today. And we really appreciate the Aston Martin Club bringing down the cars. And they are fine examples too. So there you go. If we'd like to do a tour, again, a photo opportunity. I know that the next person into the arena has arrived, and that is our magician who will be doing and entertaining you. Great magician too. I've worked with him about 4 or 5 weeks ago up in Birmingham, and he was absolutely superb. So he'll be along in a moment. But for the meantime, just enjoy these Astons doing a circuit. Okay, so coming into the arena first, are cars from the decade 1950. Of course, Queen's Jubilee, 1952 to the year 2002. These are all members of Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club. So you've had a chance to pull them round. Rightio. If you'd like to line the car up here, sir. Okay, so tell us a bit about the car.
Well, Bradley, as you can see, it's a 1953 MGTD, post-war car, I would say a pre-war design. Very basic, it was post-war, so materials were still short even in them days. If you look at this car, it hasn't even got a petrol gauge, it's got one little light that comes on. But it's got rack and pinion steering and all the comforts at home. As you can see, it's got air conditioning.
Nice one, nice one. It has got air conditioning. 1953.
Yeah, coronation year.
Absolutely brilliant. There you go, 1953. This is from the decade of the 50s. Now, this was, or these were, a very popular car in that decade, weren't they?
I don't know about that. I wasn't around then.
You may not have been, but the car was, that's for sure. Tell us a little bit about it.
It's an Austin A30 1956. I don't know much about it at all.
You don't? Are you the owner of it then, sir?
Yes, I am. I bought it off a lady, and that's been in her garden for 20 odd years, and it was all rotten out, and it took many days to weld it all up and bits and pieces all over it.
But you're enjoying her now?
Not really. I still call it the nightmare car.
So sell it then?
I wish I could, but just can't get the money what I've spent on it.
That's the problem, isn't it? Thanks for being here anyway with her today. And Chris, who will this time next year be the chairman of Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club. So Chris, tell us a little bit about this.
It's a 1960 MGA 1600.
So she's again a classic line, classic car, and lots of these around when the Queen first appeared.
Yeah, they came in 1955, went through to 62, so there's quite about 100,000 made.
And this is obviously a very, very, very nice example. But you use her all the time for the club, don't you? For Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Clubs, trips away.
Yeah, we use it 12 months of the year. We've been to France with the club a couple of times. In fact, we're going away in August. We go all over the country in the car.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, there you go. 3 examples of cars from the 50s, the first decade. Right. Now, when you think of the 60s and you think of a classic sports car, you've got to think of the E-Type. Andy Mahoney's the proud owner. Andy, tell us about this one.
It's a 1962 Series 1 3.8 Roadster.
Series 1. Now, they kind of like modified them after that. Started to change them, didn't they? But this is the purest car, this one.
Yeah, they altered on the Series 2 and the Series 3 for the American market, but this was the first car to do 150 mile an hour as a straight production Roadster.
Now, I know you've had this for a couple of years. Again, you've used it for a lot of club events. Apart from the fuel, which is awesome, the amount of fuel this thing sucks. How much is, the running cost of this? Is it an expensive car to have?
It's not particularly, Steve. No, it's quite a basic car. As you know, it does use a bit of fuel. I think the last time we went away, we done a whole tank just before we got the Nova, didn't we?
Did before we got on the ferry, it done a tank of fuel, that's for sure. So, but apart from that, they're reliable, and of course they're just fantastic fun, aren't they?
They're certainly are. And with Matching Green Sports and Classic Car Club, we're off to France in 3 weeks' time, is it? And we'll have some more fun with all the cars.
Absolutely. So there you go, the classic E-Type drop head. Moving on from one classic to another, the TR. So tell us about this one.
TR6. I've had it about 16 years, lovely car, but now I've got the 2 Torwents, so I'm selling this one.
So this one's up for sale. So someone can buy this today and drive it away, as they say. Okay, so, but again, in the 60s, this was a sought-after motor.
Very much, yeah. It's still a very nice motor. You know, the 0 to 60 time, still under 10 seconds. This car, it really goes well, very nicely, yeah.
And this one is, I've got to say, in very good order, as is all the cars that I've ever seen you with. So, if someone wants this today, come and see you, and it'll be parked over on the Matching Green side.
Over the other side, yeah, that's it.
Okay, I won't ask the price, all right? I'll just let people come over and put me on 10%. So there you go. So there you go. If you'd like to walk away with a lovely classic car today, then that TR could be yours. Just go and have a chat. It'll be over on the stand. There's a proud owner. Look, if ever you've seen a Bentley pose, that is it, isn't it? Tell us about this one.
Well, it's a 1967 Bentley T1. I've had it about 10 years. I bought it for my daughter's wedding to use then, and I just use it occasionally for weddings and special occasions and that sort of thing.
And when you get her out and you think, oh, I'll drive her today, and you say it's special occasion, does it feel special?
Well, it does. Depends where you're going, but I do enjoy driving it. I don't really use it enough, probably because the petrol consumptions are rather high. You know, if you're normal jogging around, do sort of 15 to the gallon. But I enjoy driving it, yeah.
Absolutely. And, you know, talking about petrol, a few years ago, they said, that's it, we're stopping 4-star. And there was a big hoo-hum about, you know, putting in unleaded stuff, you know, converting it with different bits and pieces you had to drop in there and everything. But it's not been a major problem, really, is it?
Not with this one. I mean, I've run it on unleaded all the time since the other went out. I spoke to our chairman, Al. He said, yeah, that'll run all right on that. And it does. No problems at all.
So a lot of the hoo-ha was just like press talk, really.
Exactly, yes, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for bringing her in today, because she is lovely. Again, 3 members of the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club, and cars from the decade of the 60s. If you'd like to do another tour, gentlemen, so we can appreciate these fine cars. Into the arena, cars from the decade of 1970s. Clipboard's falling apart. Right, here we go. Cars from the 70s. We've done the 50s, we've done the 60s, we're moving into the 70s. And really not too much styling difference from the 60s. But again, examples of the cars. Except perhaps for this one, because the Scimitar in the 70s was its real heyday, wasn't it, the 70s?
Yes, it started in the 60s and ended in the 80s. The 70s was the best years.
So tell us a little bit about this one, Richard.
This is a 1972 GTE. It's had 2 owners from new, done 112,000 miles. It's totally original, it's not been restored in any way. Very usable classic.
So the Scimitar Car Company, that's not still around, is it?
No, yes, well, it used to be Reliant that made the Robins, a true British car company, but no longer in existence.
Although there were rumours that they were at least going to bring the Robin back. Is that back in production now?
I'm not sure it was, but I'm not sure if it still is.
Right, okay. But the only thing I remember about the Scimitars at the time, and you're going to hate me for this, but they used to have a problem with catching light, didn't they?
Only a few.
Only a few. A real enthusiast protects the car to last. But they used to have a problem with the wiring looms, I know, in the 70s. But a lovely car, and really a true classic from the 70s. The styling, truly a 70s style of car. And there's still quite a few around. We've got 2 or 3 members in the club, in the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club, that have got them. But the MG, again, 70s car.
Very much so. But this is the key point about the 70s. This is when the last few chrome bumpered one before they had to raise the height for the American market and had the rubber bumpers. So the 70s, the whole car industry changed to conform with the safety regulations from America.
So from an MG purist point of view, the chrome bumpers is the one to have.
Well, apparently I'm not too fast either way, but that apparently is the case.
So, from a point of view of, like, we've had the MG Club boys in here and we've said, like, maintaining them and looking after them, and this one is a fine, fine example. Spare parts-wise, are they purely MG car parts, or can you mention from something else? Did they use other bits with different cars as well?
Well, the great thing about the MG and perhaps Triumph Spitfires is you can actually buy every single running part of the car, pretty much every single part, from the MG Owners Club or the MG Car Club. And everything on this car, as it's been completely done, has been bought brand new. So all the wings, the doors, the dashboard, right down to the last bit of rubber on the bush is replaceable. And the great thing about these cars is you can buy them in any condition you like and restore them to new.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, she's a fine example. Thank you for having her here today. The car from the 70s. And the Stag. The wonderful Stag. And again, think of the 70s. A lot of people would think of this car, wouldn't they?
Yes, they would.
Tell us about this one.
1977 Mark II Stag, manual, with overdrive, 3 litre V8 engine.
And again, like with classic cars, you speak to most people that maybe don't know a lot about them. They will mention the Stag as a classic car. There's still a lot around, and a very good, strong club, isn't there?
Very large club. Well, it actually is the largest single car club membership in the country.
Really? Well, as in its own right.
Single car.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for bringing it here today. Into the arena then, the decade of the 80s. Motoring from the 80s. We are celebrating the Golden Jubilee. 50 years of motoring from the 50s through to today. Very nice. Cars from the 80s. Okay, cars from the 80s then, as we move along the decade. And this one, a Morgan, of course. Tell us about this one.
Well, it's a 1989 Morgan. It's a +4, which used to be the middle of the three ranges of cars. It was a 4.4 and a +4 and a +8. But of course that's changed now because there's the new Morgan Aero that's come out in the last 12 months or so.
Now, Morgan, we are featuring today. We always feature a mark here at the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club. And the mark this year is the Morgan. And we're hoping, fingers crossed, to have an Aero here. But you look at this and you think, actually, 80s, this can't be an 80s car, but it truly is. And really, it's old motoring, old style motoring, but with more comfort, I guess.
And they just haven't changed. I wouldn't say there's a lot of comfort to them because they've changed the mechanics of it. It's still very, very similar to what it was many, many years ago. And of course, they are very old cars. They started in about 1906, I think, with the three-wheeler.
Yeah, it was the three-wheeler, and then they converted over, didn't they? Yes, indeed. Okay, well, thank you for bringing her here today to represent the decade of the 80s. Now, this is a car that, when you think of the 80s, that you probably would pop into your mind. The Porsche, obviously, the 924, classic 80s lines, classic 80s styling, and a classic 80s person sitting here. Tell us your name, sir.
My name's Colin.
Okay, Colin, tell us a little bit about the car.
Yeah, the car's about 22 years old. I've known it since it was new. I've owned it for about 10 years. It's generally sort of mileage 32,000. Obviously, it doesn't get used very much.
She's in very, very fine fettle. I got to say that. Again, Porsches, people associate that with, no, lots of money to look after them and service them and keep them reliable. Is that the case?
No, it's not actually. You can get all the parts because the engine's basically an Audi, and all the parts are readily available either from secondary companies in here or in Germany from Porsche themselves.
So you could actually own a nice styled classic sports car like this and not break the bank.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Thanks for bringing it down. BMW, left hooker, so I'll go this side. Thanks for waving, because I nearly went to that side. Tell us about this one, Rick.
Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you very much about it. It's not my car.
All right, so you don't know anything about it at all?
Well, I know it's a BMW M3, which is a modified BMW with about 300 brake horsepower. It's from the late 1980s, sort of archetypal yuppie's late 80s car.
Was indeed. And do we know the name of the yuppie that owns this one?
Yes, it's actually owned by Mike Bloomfield, who is operating the beer tent, so I'm sure we can all forgive him for not driving his car.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm glad you left him over there. Hardly a yuppie though, Mark, I would say. Okay, thank you very much. 3 cars from the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club's membership, and the years The decade is the 80s. So we're going to move on to the 90s. Of course, we'll do a tour though, a couple of tours to get a chance to appreciate cars from the 80s. As we move into the 90s. Like I say, matching green, classic and sports car club. You don't have to own a classic. It can be a modern day sports car because we love you just the same if you've got a modern day sports car. Or in fact, if you've just got an interest in classic and sports cars, come and join us, 25 quid a year. We meet here the first Sunday in every month at 3 o'clock outside the pub. We have a couple of beers, we have a laugh, and we try to organise our trips away. As someone said earlier, I think it was Andy Mahoney in the E-Type, that we're away in 3 weeks' time to France. We go away for the weekend. That includes ferry travel. Everything's organised for you. You just turn up and go at very favourable rates as well. We do demand and command. Yes, please, just a little tour around. Some very good discounts. We go away in this country as well for weekends. So if you'd like to be a social person and you've got an interest in classic and sports cars, Matching Green is the club to join. Okay, this represents the 80s then, this decade. The 90s, I beg your pardon. The 90s. The Merc. That'll do, that's lovely. The Alpha. And of course the Mini. Yeah, you can do. What should we demonstrate? The roof? Let's demonstrate the roof on this Mercedes then. All electric. And when you compare this with the cars we had in the arena about an hour ago from the 1920s that only had a cloth roof, you can see how far motoring has advanced in really a relatively short time. I suppose we have to thank things like what's happening today, motor racing, for the advances, especially in performance on braking systems and things like that. But it's really come a long way in the short time that the Queen has been overseeing things. Okay, that was fantastic. Would you like to open her up again whilst I talk to you? It's effortless, just the left finger. Fantastic piece of design though, and very, very clever. So, I know you haven't had this one very long, and I know you searched far and wide to find a fine example of this, but these are a lovely car, aren't they?
Yes, I'm really thrilled.
So, tell us, you stuck out to find a good one, you know, on the used car market, and you looked for, like, this particular colour. So, if someone's looking to buy one, you'd say, look, don't jump in, buy the first one, have a look round.
Absolutely. Take your time. They're like buses. There's always one coming around the corner.
Absolutely, Will. Thanks for bringing her in. Fine example of the cars from the 90s. Now this one, I remember when you got this, and I remember bringing it to the show for the first time, and it still is a joy to you, isn't it?
It is indeed, yes. Had it since new. Don't think I've got any intention of getting rid of it.
Absolutely not. And tell us all about it, the model and stuff.
It's a GTV. The number plate cost me £300. And as an ex-policeman, it's rather apt to be in P999 GTV. I've had it since new, one of the first ones into the country, and I say I thoroughly enjoy it.
Absolutely lovely. Well, thank you for bringing her in again. And yeah, a rather apt one, 999 indeed. And this, now traditionalists with the Mini, when they were redesigning the Mini, they said, we're going to bring out a new Mini. Everybody said, can't beat the Mini, you can't do that. But I think they made a great job of it. What do you think?
I think they made a fantastic job of it. I have one of the original Minis, the Coopers, and I think this really similar drive is very similar and just as much fun.
Is it really? Because that was the thing, wasn't it? The Mini was fun in the 60s. It really was, you know, 70s. It grew up and it was the fun. And they were wondering whether they would actually create that. Obviously, a little bit bigger, a bit more room in the back. But as far as you're concerned, a very similar car to drive.
Very similar, but just as much fun.
But that's nice to know. And I like the way they kept the big clock in the middle, and they kept it, you know, true to the old Mini style, really. But managed somehow to maintain that, but give you all the modern day comforts. Nice one. Thank you very much. They're cars from the 90s then. I hope you've enjoyed this look back through the decade, as I say, to help celebrate the Golden Jubilee. We thought it'd be fun to have a look at how motoring's changed.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope you have a good day, and I'll be back later.
When the Nissans score a point, we need a cheer from this side of the arena, and when the Morgans score, we need a cheer from this side. So let's have a little practice, all right? Let's just imagine that the Nissans have scored their first point, shall we? Let's cheer! If you like. When they score their point, you've got to cheer! Let's cheer! I don't rate your chances much, Simon. And what about the Morgans? When they score their first point, we've got to cheer! Oh, much better. See, that's how you do it. Alright, so don't forget, we're split from here. We're split from the man with the beer in his hand, and I wish that was me. You lot are supporting from that side down and Nissans, and you lot are supporting the Morgans. And the BMW. So Nissans are the winner. Just for a bit of fun, we'll ask you the last question anyway. Just for a bit of honour, really, because you're 3-1 down. Alright, don't worry, you can pull this back. What was the only Z car available in turbocharged form? Which one was the only car, the only Nissan Datsun Z car available in turbocharged form? The 300. What do you reckon, fellas, the 300? It was indeed. Well done, the 300. Bit of honour. There you go. Alfie, are we doing?
It's got young Bantam, old Bantam. Now what's that all about? It's about these guys, because we bring into the arena, proudly bring into the arena, two Bantam, BSA Bantam motorbikes. One ridden by the young Robert, who's only 9 years old, and one ridden by the young 80-year-old, or in his 80s anyway, Len Ascot. So that's why we've got young and old Bantam. These beautiful, beautiful bikes. The sound is unique. It's none of this modern sort of buzzing. It's a real purr. It's a real enthusiast bike. So let's have a chat to the young bantam and the old bantam. I think, with great respect, we'll start with the older bantam, shall we? And, sir, can I ask your age?
My age? 76.
76. Superb. And you still get enjoyment out of riding this bike?
Well, when I take it out, I don't take it out all that often.
You don't get her out too often. You're not in this weather. She's not too good. Tell us a little bit about her.
Well, originally all I had was a crankcase and a frame. The rest of it I got from all the jumbles over the years.
So you've literally built it from bits and pieces that you bought?
We rebuilt it from bits and pieces from all the jumble cells.
So how did you come by the crankcase and the frame then?
Well, years ago I got 2 sons, and the youngest one was a bit of a wrecker, and he had it and wrecked it.
I think a lot of dads can relate to that, to be honest, with cars and bikes and all that. So he wrecked it, and then you've spent time just getting the bits together and rebuilding it, yeah?
Yeah.
Superb. And this young man, now, I'm right in saying you're 9 years old, is that right?
I'm 12.
12, well, that's the information I got was that you're 9. So you're 12. You're still a very young man to be riding one of these. What does it feel like when you potter around on here? You're quite proud to be on this?
Yeah, it's not hard to ride.
Do you ride other bikes, like more modern ones?
125 trials.
So how does this compare?
It's quite a bit heavier, hopefully.
Quite a bit heavier, but still great fun to ride. And obviously you would. And they told you about the BSA and the history behind this bike? No. They haven't. But you need to talk to somebody and find out about BSA, because we had a great motorcycle industry in this country, and it all went to pieces, didn't it, sir? It all just went to the Japanese.
Good.
The Japanese nicked our motorbike industry, didn't they?
It's a pity that they ever started to come into this country.
Well, yeah, perhaps. But certainly it was a great shame to see these go, and Norton and all the other British bikes that used to be around. Although, to be fair, Norton did try to come back a little while ago. So there you go, there you have it. 2 BSA Bantams, lovely pieces of kit. If you'd like to start them up again, as you'll see, obviously, we bring them in a kickstart, no modern electric starting for these bikes. Now, as you drive around, you will be joined by some other motorbikes coming into the arena. So if you just like to circle and tag on the end of these, and then we'll stop you again. I was speaking about the Norton, wasn't I? Wonderful motorbike. So we'll find out a little bit about these guys and these cars. We'll start on the end. He sneaked in when I weren't looking. Right, tucked right on the end then. So, hiya, tell us your name first, sir.
Martin.
Martin, and tell us about the car, Martin. Who's this? This is your daughter?
No, this is a friend's daughter.
A friend's daughter. Just having a ride, are you? Will you make sure you wave to the crowd when you go round, all right? OK, Martin, tell us about the car.
It's a 1973 GT. I've had it about 2 years. Need a little bit of work on it. You know, it's quite reliable. Goes all right.
Do they take a lot of upkeep, these MGs? Because rumour has it that they're mechanically sound, but the bodywork's a bit iffy, you know.
Yeah, the bodywork can be a bit iffy. Like, you know, I mean, you can have them re-sprayed, and a couple of years later, you know, it starts going again. So it's a bit of an ongoing thing, really, all the time, you know.
But a real passion and a labour of love.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, once you spend a few quid on them and get them mechanically, you know, near as perfect, really, they're pretty reliable then.
Was it an ambition to own one, or had you owned one before?
No, I've never owned one before, and my wife was getting fed up with newer type cars, and I've always fancied one of these, so I said, we'll just go and buy one then, and that was it. It's her car, really, and she didn't even want to test drive it. I just bought it, she got it in now, she loves it.
Excellent, nice story. Thank you very much for bringing it here today. Lovely example as well. Now this one sticks out, doesn't it, amongst the others? What's your name, sir?
Name's Steve.
Nice name, like that, Steve. And tell us about the car, Steve.
Right, it's a 1957 ZB Veritone Magnet. I'm only the second owner. I've had it 23 years. It was previously owned by my great aunts. I got it, as I say, 23 years ago on 3 conditions. Don't change the colours because they're not original. Don't sell it during her lifetime, and come to her funeral in it, which unfortunately I had to do 3 years ago. Shortly after she died, I had it restored to its present condition. I haven't got the technical ability or the space to do it. It was done by a Z Magnet specialist in Norwich. I won't tell you how much it costs, but those of us with classic cars know that you finish up missing an arm and a leg.
Absolutely, but they've done a wonderful job of it. If you get a chance, please visit this car when on its stand over there and just have a look at it. It's like the day it came out of the showroom. It's beautiful. Now, you said this is not original colour, but was it its original colour from new?
The original colour was what my great aunt called an Oxford and Cambridge blue. But when her and my late uncle saw the cars, they actually bought it on holiday and it was a whim. They had a Riley Pathfinder, which they found heavy. Saw this one in a showroom in two-tone blue, and they said, don't like the colours, could we have one like that on parks on the forecourt, which was this black and, well, it was ivory, but this is now Old English white. And they said, well, madam, if you want it that colour, it's like 9 months wait or whatever. They bought the car in two-tone blue, came back to London in it, and 3 months later it was repainted in these colours. They did such a good job that when I bought the car, or got the car from her rather, you couldn't see any of the original paint anywhere unless you removed trim panels. The only thing, the painting was slightly incorrect, but that was only a quibble by, purists say this is not right and that's not right. But when it was done, it's done as it should be. The interior is the wrong colour, has been pointed out to me, but who cares?
Who cares indeed when she looks like that and you get as much pleasure as you have. So thank you very much for bringing her here, Steve, because she is lovely. Take the chance to take a good close look at her. She's absolutely gorgeous. I would think a possible winner of the car of the show may be the car you'd like to go home in. If it is, get yourself a programme and vote for the car you would most like to go home in, and that one's got to be up on the list somewhere. Okay, sir, tell us your name.
John.
Hello, John, and tell us about this. This is in nice nick as well.
This is a conversion. It's a 1974 GT, which has been converted to a 3.5 litre V8.
Crikey, so she doesn't hang about.
0 to 60 in about 6 seconds, about 135.
130. Now, when you're doing that sort of speed, a car like this, obviously, it was built for a particular speed, a particular engine. What does she handle like? Does she wander a bit?
Just a little bit is the answer to that. Yeah, it's they did do a V8 version, factory version. So it's got, V8 suspension and V8 parts on it, so it handles pretty well, but you don't like to drive it much over about 110, frankly.
No. And obviously you don't do this in this country, do you?
No, go to the Autobahn for that.
Absolutely. I know you wouldn't break the rules. And believe me, you really have got to shop around when you're going to buy an MG, because there's some very good ones and there's also some very bad ones. This one's a very good one. Is that advice true to form, would you say, that you need to shop around if you're going to buy one of these?
Yeah, you've got kind of 2 options really. You can either go for a very good one and then do very little work on it, or you can buy a wreck and then spend an awful lot of time and money. And these days they do seem to be 2 extremes. You've got very good ones and real rough ones.
Real rough ones. Tell us your name, sir.
I'm Danny.
You're Danny, and you're a member of the North London MG Club, are you?
Yes, I am, yeah.
So tell us about this car, because this isn't a rough one. This is, in fact, a very, very nice one.
Yes, this was came off the production line in October 1970. It's a 71 model, straight 1800. It hasn't been molested or... basically, it's the same as it was when it came out of the showroom. It had 47,000 miles in it original when I bought it, and I've done about 5 since then.
Wow, well, I would say you was a very lucky man to find one in this original condition, because if you looked in here, you would say it's been restored.
No, it hasn't at all. I've done some cosmetic work, and the rest of it was as I found it.
Excellent. Well, it's a lovely version, and thank you for bringing it here today, because it's a lovely car. Again, could be a potential winner of Car of the Show, that one, I would think, because it is immaculate and it is lovely. Okay, tell us your name, sir.
Hello, my name's Justin.
Hi, Justin, and tell us about the car.
This is a 1970 Austin Healey Sprite. I don't think it's too many here today. Very similar to the midget. I've had it about 4 years now, sort of an ongoing sort of restoration, but I use it daily to work.
That's nice. I mean, using the daily, so you're a man like me who believes these cars are meant to be driven.
Definitely, definitely. There's no point in having it and sticking it in the garage and just bringing it out on a sunny day. I do use it. I mean, admittedly, at the bad times I've got another car, but generally in the summer, all through the summer months, I'll use this to work every single day.
Nice, and that's the way it should be. Now, you said it's an ongoing restoration. What do you do? Bolter did a major bit of restoration, and now just keep it topped up.
Well, no, it was MOT'd and everything when I bought it, but it's just generally bits and pieces. When I get the money, I'll spend the money and do extra bits and change it. It's ongoing with classic cars anyway, but no, it was MOT'd and in reasonable condition when I bought it, but it's obviously I've had to do bits and pieces along the way to it, and it's still ongoing. There's still a lot more to do to it.
Well, she certainly looks lovely. Are you a member of the club or a club?
Yeah, I'm a very new member to the club, yes.
Right, so which club?
To the North London MG Club.
Blimey, he's a new member, I don't even know the name of it. There you go. Great, though, it's nice, it's lovely. I'll tell you what, this is 5 fine examples of the cars. They really are in excellent condition. A credit to your club and a credit to you as owners. Please, if you'd like to move around and show these cars off in the arena, they really are lovely. If you haven't bought your raffle tickets yet, I'll just remind you that up for grabs, a couple of cuddly toys, some bottles of drink I've seen there, and a unique prize. You could go to Paradise Wildlife Park over in Broxbourne and hand feed the tigers. How exciting is that? They're the only wildlife park in the country that offers that opportunity, and they only do so many visits a year. We've managed to grab one for the raffle today. It's worth about 150 quid. So if you fancy going over to Paradise Wildlife Park and standing in front of the cage and feeding the tigers by hand, it's a wonderful, wonderful experience, a unique experience. You could win that today by just buying a raffle ticket. So please, when the girls come round, we don't ask you to pay to come to the show, but we do ask you to buy a raffle ticket because it does help us when we prepare for next year. The hog roast is going extremely well. If you're hungry, there's a bar as well. Those that haven't found it yet, it's over in the main marquee. On my left, as you look at the marquee, you'll find the bar. Andy Mahoney running it. Keith's running it there as well from the Matching Green Classic Sports Bar Car Club. And we bring into the arena some more visiting cars. A bit older this time, as you can tell. Don't say we don't give you variety here at Matching Green when we do our shows. Just another plug for a classic car show. If you're enjoying today, then obviously there's car shows, not quite like this one, but car shows all around the southeast. Here's one for you. The MG Car Club proudly announce that their popular event will be held on Sunday the 15th of September. And that's at the Queen Victoria Classic Car Show, and it is being held at the Metropolitan Police Sports Ground, Chigwell, Essex. If you know Chigwell and you know the Metropolitan Police Ground, September the 1st of September is the time to be there. Sunday the 1st of September. Okay, hope you got your cameras out because this really is a wonderful sight. Chance to see the cars of yesteryear. Some of the young children looking at these cars and going, wow, what are they, Dad? What are they, Mum? Well, we're about to find out. You're okay. You're going to miss it. Get out of the way of the camera so the camera can pick up a wonderful shot for this, for our video for next year. By the way, if you were here last year, you may well be on our club video. There's a couple of copies, not many, 2 or 3 copies available for sale over on the club gazebo. So if you were here last year, the chances are your car will be on the video. So go and have a look. And and buy a copy. Okay, well, sir, this is magnificent. We'll talk about the plaque on the side in a while, but let's find out your name first.
It's Lawrence Abbott.
And tell us a little bit about the car, because it is beautiful, isn't it?
It's 1922 3 litre, but it's been updated to 4.5 litre. And I've had it not very long. I can't remember now, about 6, 7 years, I suppose.
So you say it's been uprated to 4.5 litre. What does that incur, really?
It uses a lot of the 4.5 litre, the Le Mans Bender's engine parts. So the bottom half is 3 litre, but the top half is all from the 4.5. It's basically the same engine, but just increased capacity.
Now, most people look at this car, they know what it is, and it had a wonderful, the Bentley's had a wonderful racing history, early on. Are there many that have survived now?
The 3 litres, I think there's about 700 still left, and there were 1,600 made, so pretty well half of them, I should think.
Not a bad ratio. And are you a member of a Bentley club?
Yeah, the Bentley Drivers Club, yeah.
I would have thought that is fairly essential for spare parts and stuff, is it?
Not so much spare parts, but certainly more just general advice and things like that. But it's a good club anyway. They organise a lot of fairly ambitious events, so it's a good place to be.
That leads us nicely into the plaque on the side, the ambitious events. Tell us about, because there's a plaque on the side here, you get a chance to have a look at it. It's the BDC 2002 New Zealand Tour. That's a hell of a one. It's the other side of the world.
It is, yes. Yeah, we just come back, so we went over there for 6 weeks around North and South Island. So we did about 4,000 miles, about that, maybe a bit more.
So what did you, obviously, you shipped the cars out?
Yeah, went to Barking, stuck them in a box, and 2 months later picked them up in New Zealand.
Eye-catching in New Zealand, turned a few heads?
He did, but I think you'll find when you talk to the gentleman next door, he was over there as well, I think, with the Talbots. We also met the Austin 7 Club over there. So New Zealand had quite a few old cars going around there.
We'll have to have a chat to the chairman of the Matching Greens Classic and Sports Car Club, see if we can get over there. Thank you very much for bringing her here today, because it's lovely to see her here. Right, so have a chat about the Talbot Tour in New Zealand, he said, but let's find out about you first. What's your name?
John Parsons.
John, a wonderful car, and we're really pleased to have her here. So tell us a little bit about her.
This is a 1935 Talbot 105, known as the Roche Talbot, because he was the engineer on the firm. And it's a very nice sports car. Slow by today's standards, but they buzz along 70, 75 miles an hour. Reasonably economical.
Reasonably economical. She is I mean, that's an understatement to say she's a lovely sports car, because she really is. I mean, we just spoke to the MG guys and said about maintenance and looking after them, and were they really a pain to own as a classic car? What about these? Are these time consuming, or are they fairly reliable?
Very reliable. It's a straight inline 6, not blown or anything like that. So it's very straightforward. But our register, you help you a lot with spares, and you need to be, handy with the tools if you own a car like this. You're always working on it one way or another.
A labour of passion, I should think, and love.
Great fun, yeah. Can I make a comment about New Zealand? We were out there 2 weeks after the Bentley boys had been through. Wherever we went, they'd made a fantastic show. Everybody spoke about the Bentleys that had been around New Zealand. It really was that. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. That's really nice to know, and I'm sure the Bentley Club and I, like I say, if we can organise a trip to New Zealand for the Matching Green Classic Sports Car Club, it'd be lovely, and I'll tour there in my TBR S2. It'd be wonderful. Thank you for bringing her in. She is a lovely example. Again, please take the time to go and have a closer look at these cars, because you really can't appreciate them fully until you look inside, you see the interiors, and you speak to the owners. They'll be only too pleased to tell you all about them. And another lovely old car. Tell us your name, sir.
Barry Payne.
Barry, tell us about the car, mate.
It's a 1928 Swift. It was 1440. It was supplied new to Tasmania, and I bought it back off one of our club members 2 years ago. So there are only 3.5 of them in the world, and we've now got the whole 3.5 back.
That's wonderful. 3.5. Will the half become a whole?
Well, no, I don't think so, but the man who's actually got the half is so enthusiastic that nobody dares tell him he'll never find the pieces.
You'll just have to hand build them, won't you, with your guidance. And these are 3 cars from visiting clubs or people that just wanted to come along and display their car. So, let's find out a little bit about you, sir, and a bit about the car.
Jim Hunter, we're looking forward to coming along today.
That's very nice of you to say so, and we're very grateful that you did. So tell us a bit about the motor.
The car was first registered in 1949, exported to South Africa, came back here in 1987, and was subject to full restoration. We're very pleased with it. We feel that it's arguably the best 10 horsepower car produced immediately after the war.
Excellent. And how did you come by it? You started an advert. You was very, very lucky, I think. She's a lovely example. She's really wonderful. Gives you many hours of motoring pleasure.
Absolutely. The other just stuck in my mind and thought, why not one of these?
Excellent. And you know, you're the second person that said that today. That you know, they bought the cars because of something that happened when they was younger. You know, normally it's like me. I mean, my first car I drove was a Hillman Imp, so will buy one. I'm going to buy an Hillman Imp and make sure I have it. So it's lovely that you used to work on these as a young apprentice and now own one. Well, thank you for being here. Right in the back there, kids, going to give us a wave as you drive round. Good stuff. Okie dokie, like the aeroplane on the front. Is that standard?
Yeah, that's special because it used to belong to a wing commander, and that was his little symbol he used to fly.
Oh, excellent, superb. So, tell us your name.
My name's David, I live in Epping, and the car's a 1935 Riley Falcon with a 1.5 litre engine, which was designed specially for racing 1.5 litre class, obviously not the sort of body like this, that went on to power cars into the 50s, PRA, Thomas used them, full model.
Wow, so that's it's lovely to have that sort of background from a history point of view. What about maintaining it? Is it a major problem now?
The spares are very good from the Riley Club. We've only had this car 2 weeks actually.
So for the younger members of the audience, tell us what pre-select box is.
Well, you can engage your gear when you're, for instance, if you're in fourth gear and you're coming up to a roundabout or a corner, you can engage it without actually being in the gear. So you just need to press what most people consider the clutch pedal, and you're in the gear. And this was developed at a time when you would otherwise had to double the clutch with all the gearboxes and touch pedals.
That's right. You used to end up with a left leg like Stanley Matthews, didn't you? You used to have to double the clutch. Thank you for being here and bringing her in. What we're finding is it's not too much of a problem to own a classic or a sports car, especially a classic car or an older car, because most of the clubs still can source the parts for you. So if you're thinking about owning one, don't be put off, all right? Right, the MG, hi.
Hello sir, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you very much. And what's your name? Where are you from?
My name's David Burrows, I'm from North London, and I'm here today to enjoy the wonderful classic car show. And I brought along this wonderful old 1957 MG Magnet ZB. This is apparently, or thought to be, the 1957 World School Motor Show display model. In the garage now, 2 owners of you, it's been in the garage for approximately 27 years. I don't think it's here, and it's its first time now today.
Fantastic. Well, we are very, very privileged and pleased that you brought her here and chose our car club show to bring her out. And the ex-show model, that's wonderful. I mean, that's. Have you managed to get any old pictures of the classic car show? It's time when it might have been on display.
Not yet, but I'm in the market for any history or anything on the vehicle itself. To say it's completely understood exactly how it was, apart from the exhaust and some time. I'm really interested in this.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do. But you know, the wonderful thing about a car like this is the smell inside, isn't it? The leather smell is wonderful.
Absolutely, leather and a good old walnut dash.
Yeah, proper one, not a plastic one. Excellent. Well, there you go. Some more visiting cars then. And like I say, the show beginning to draw to a close. The tension's mounting a little bit as to which ones are going to win the prizes, but it's not about winning the prizes. It's about being here, taking part and enjoying it and enjoying your cars. Thank you very much, sirs. We'd like to do another tour so we can enjoy the cars. And if anybody would know anything, possibly, or know anyone that may know about that MG, in 1957 it was the star attraction at the motor show. So have you got any old photographs of a motor show for 1957? Maybe you've got a picture of that car when it was on the stand. So, as you can see, coming into the arena, as we announced a little while ago, would be the winning cars. These are the ones. Alf, the chairman, is going to, or the chairman for the rest of this year anyway, is going to give out the trophies. So, let's start with the best classic car in the show. Best classic car in the show for the year 2002 goes to the 3-litre Bentley UC1643. Round of applause, please. If you'd like to step out of your car, sir, come and get the trophy. That is the best classic car in the show. And what a beautiful example of a Bentley it is as well. And it's 4.5 litres, not 3. Got another 1.5 litres from somewhere. Well done, sir. Okay, we move on now to the best sports car in the show. And the best sports car goes to the C-Type Jaguar, MWM 417. Lovely. Cool, what would you give to own that, eh? Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to move on to the best matching green classic and sports car of the show, and is the Talbot Molly Joan Parsons. There we go. John Parsons is that? I thought you didn't like Joan when you walked out. Oh, it's the one that went to New Zealand, wasn't it? Of course it was. How can I forget? I'm just looking forward to me beer, to be honest. Right. Well done, John. Sorry to call you Joan as well. It's just the way you walk. All right. And the final one goes to the People's Choice, the one you voted for, the car you would most like to go home in, and it is the Ford Mustang FAN 168C. Well done, sir. Excellent. That's the car you voted for. That's the one I'd like to win, really. That's that. Okay. Right, just before the chairman-elect or the deputy chairman comes on to say a few words, Chris, just let you know about the Hill Cancer Charity Identify the Car quiz. Four winners, the teddy bear and bottle of wine in 4th place goes to Steve Furley of Harlow. 3rd prize, which is a classic car book and a bottle of wine, goes to Abe Britton of Welland Garden City. 2nd one is a pitcher and a bottle of wine. A lot of wine there. Bottle of wine is Steve Diath from Chadwell Heath, or Diath, I would say. And finally, the 1st prize of the Hill Cancer Charity Identify the Car quiz is a lunch for two at the Checkers, and that's for Paul Stamp of Old Harlow. So Paul, you'll enjoy a lovely meal at the Checkers, which is where we meet the first Sunday in every month. But right now, I'd just like Chris to come forward. Chris, as I said, is the Vice Chairman of Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club, and he just wanted to say a few words. Chris.
Thanks very much, Steve. First of all, I'd like to thank Steve for all the work he's done today. Can we have a round of applause for Steve, please? I'd like to thank everybody that's still here despite the rain. You've helped to make it a very successful day, so thank you all very much. Now, I would like to say a special thanks to all the members of the car club who turned out today, some yesterday as well. They've worked very hard, despite my hassling all to do jobs that probably they didn't want to do. So my personal thanks to all the members of the club and their wives and friends who've actually come along today and helped us. Thank you very much indeed. Just one final thing. Just like to thank Alf and the committee for everything they've done to organise this event today. It's been another successful one despite the weather. I think we've all enjoyed the day. So thank you very much, and hopefully we'll see you all next year. There you go, Chris Cooper, who will be the chairman next year, this time next year. But let's just once again enjoy the winners, the victors, enjoy their spoils as they do a lap of honour, and then exit the arena, the winners of the trophies here for today. And it just leaves me to say thank you for you coming, because I look pretty silly stood in this field talking to myself. And we hope, God willing, to see you all again next year. Let's hope the sunshine comes out. We've been very lucky. You know, this is the first year, to the best of my knowledge, the last 5 or 6 years I've done the show, that it's rained. A lovely sight. And of course they all will appear on the club video. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Please stay and enjoy the marquee and the food and the rest of the stuff. But for now, that is it for the year 2002, the Matching Green Classic and Sports Car Club. We'll see you here next year. Thank you very much indeed. Bye-bye.